Hey 701, Mr. Dandapani here. We're gonna go back to doing what we had just started to do about a week or two before school shut down, which is when we split the class into three different groups. For the time being, you are all going to be working with me, and we're going to be covering the same lessons as all the other groups in the lesson. So today's lesson is analyzing the development of central ideas. So open your ready books to page 3. Right, and I am going to read from the top. As you read, do you wonder what the author is trying to tell you in the text? Try to figure out the central idea or the most important point or points an author is trying to make about the topic. So, central idea is something that shouldn't be new to any of you. We can also think of it as the main idea. Sometimes the central idea may be stated directly, but more often it is implied. Then you must figure it out by analyzing the supporting details. These facts, examples, reasons, and other pieces of information are meant to explain and expand on the central idea. So just remember that a central idea is always supported by details, right? So let's look at an example of that in a picture. And in this cartoon, we're going to think about the central idea and its supporting details. So we want to figure out what central idea is shown. Let's circle parts of the picture and the caption that support the central idea. So in the picture, I'm going to circle this guy right here, right? And the caption lets us understand what's going on in the picture. So the caption says paleontologists search for fossils that reveal more about creatures that lived in the past. So let's circle creatures that lived in the past. So based on this cartoon and what we see in both the picture and the caption, we can determine that the central idea of this cartoon is that paleontologists help us learn about dinosaurs and our past. So, what supporting details fall under this central idea? Supporting detail number one is that the dinosaur bones show the shapes of creatures from the past. The second supporting detail is that studying fossils reveals clues about creatures that lived in the past. So, if you notice, supporting details are always much more specific, and the central idea is much more general. So, the supporting details are very specific, they're facts, details, or examples from a text, or in this case, a cartoon, that help us determine the central idea. So, as a good reader, you want to make sure you figure out how the supporting details work together to develop the central idea in the text. This will help you understand each important point the author wants to make. All right, so then we are going to skip pages 3 and 4. Excuse me, figure this out. And we're going to go to page, what is this? Page 6. So we're going to skip pages 3, 4, and 5, go straight to page 6. All right, so this is, we always want to determine the genre. It is biography, which is an account about a person written by another person. So don't confuse it with autobiography. An autobiography is when one person writes about their own life. A biography is when someone else writes an account of someone else's life. All right, so whenever you read these texts in the guided practice, I want you to always look at these little close reading hints and whatever is written on the side. So let's look at the first one. As I read, I'll think about the central ideas the author is telling me about Suni Williams, think about why she's famous, and what details about her life does the author want to share. And what does Suni say about why she hadn't become an astronaut? Let's underline the quote in paragraph 3. And then this is something to look at after we read the text again. So let's read through it once, and I want us to get in the habit too, if we're not already doing it, writing just statements. So I'm going to go through it paragraph by paragraph. Commander Suni Williams by Margot Carlin. As 5-year-old Sunita Suni Williams watched Neil Armstrong's fascinating moonwalk on television, she thought, that's what I would like to do. While she never thought of moonwalking as a realistic career goal, Williams' story proves that we can't always know where our path is going to lead us. If we believe in ourselves, though, we'll end up in the right place. So, a just statement for this paragraph can be Suni dreams of going to the moon. So, remember when we write just statements, it's a short, simple sentence that pretty much sums up what the paragraph is talking about. All right. Now, actually, let's look at this close reading hint right here. It says to reread paragraph 1 and find and star put an asterisk by the sentence that gives a central idea about Suni Williams. Then underline sentences with details that support this idea. So a central idea about Suni Williams. If you notice, I put this sentence right here as a central idea about Suni Williams. So the sentence is, if we believe in ourselves, though, we'll end up in the right place. So this sentence right here pretty much gives us a very general idea of what Suni Williams' belief was, right? Her way of thinking, right? She believed in herself, and she is basically telling us that if we believe in ourselves, we will end up where we want to be. Paragraph 2. Williams' career path was far from unpredictable. She says she was just an okay high school student. Because her brother had gone to the U.S. Naval Academy, she was drawn there too. All right, so let's underline the sentence, Williams' career path was far from unpredictable. All right, so we're identifying details that fall under the central idea of Suni Williams. All right, so this is going to be one detail that we are going to underline. Right, important details about Suni Williams. Paragraph 3. Williams graduated from the Naval Academy and trained to become a Navy helicopter test pilot. Listening to a former astronaut talking about flying a helicopter as preparation for flying a moon lander, a light bulb went on in Williams's head. When we say a light bulb went on, you can think of how it happens in those cartoons. They think of an idea. It dawned on her that her helicopter training could be her ticket to space. She realized, the only one who's telling me I'm not going to be an astronaut is me. So, first off, let's look at our just statement for this paragraph. Suni realizes what it will take for her to go to space. She realizes what she needs to do, right? As we see right here, it says that she needs to do helicopter training, right? And I underlined this detail because, once again, this is essential. We're thinking about details that fall under the central idea about Suni Williams, what the author is telling us about Suni Williams. So this sentence tells us that Suni Williams believed that only she could tell herself that she can't be an astronaut. It's really up to her whether she achieves her dream or not. Paragraph 4. Williams eventually trained to become a member of the International Space Station crew, where she served as flight engineer and set a new record for women in space. Another first, she ran the Boston Marathon on a space station treadmill. She achieves her dream. That's the just statement that we put for this paragraph, right? At this point, she actually gets to go to space, right? She becomes a member of the International Space Station crew. Williams believes that there is a message for young people in learning about the twists and turns that led to her space station adventure. Maybe you want something, but you get something else. But if you make the best of it, things sort of work out. So, in other words, she didn't accomplish exactly what she was dreaming of, but things worked out for her. So she's basically telling us to make the best out of whatever opportunities you get, right? So whatever I highlighted, you should have underlined, or if you have a highlighter, you can highlight it in your book. And you should have also written your just statements for everywhere that I have written it. This is our just statement right here for paragraph 5. All right. Now, for your classwork, you are going to do questions 1, 2, and 3. It's all going to be in one assignment. I'm going to put it in your assessments. And I want you to look at these hints that you have right here, and based on everything that we've annotated in the text, you should be able to answer these questions well. And for this question, remember that this is a short response. And for this one, you have to list at least 3 details from the text. Usually short responses too, but it's asking us for 3 details. All right? So remember to answer the question and support it with direct quotes from the text. All right? And that is all.